Ready on the right? Nah. Ready on the left? What up? Late Ill Kid at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people? Today, coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right. You best believe it. That's right. It's that NERDSoul movie review roundtable goodness. And you know what? Before we even get popping, shout out to Tony Fleming. Shout out to Boogs Worthy up in the chat. And we're going to get started. In the bottom square, we have, you know her, you love her, cosplay giant, Gamma Rae. What's up?
Hey, it's your girl, Gamma Rae. Lawyer by day, cosplayer by night, but a geek always. Excited to, talk about this movie. Long awaited.
Word up. And over here to my right, you know him, Tom's Man of the Year 2017. Most interesting, most interesting brother with a pair of glasses, Clement Bryant.
I mean, I'm surprised you didn't say Steve Urkel lookalike, but just playing. Was good, man. Let's get into it. It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute. And in the diagonal square, you know her, slaying in the cosplay game, got the gaming set up. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully she's playing some Halo. We can play together or something like that. But with that said, without further ado, Ninja Yo-Yo, what's up?
Yo, not my setup, but so I can't play you the Halo, but thanks for having me nonetheless.
No doubt. So I'll get it started with, we've all been, I hope, waiting for the Wonder Woman, the wondrous women that we've seen in these past few iterations. You know what I'm saying? You know, the movie sphere on DC has been a troubled one. But
that's putting it nicely.
but we here. And we made it. So I'm gonna go around the horn. I'll start with Ninja. First, kind of your basic, impressions, your first impressions. How were you feeling when you finished the movie?
When I finished the movie, deflated.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Deflated. Cool. All right.
Sums it up in one word.
How about you?
Me?
Oh, Gamma Rae. Sorry, Gamma Rae. How about you?
I felt mixed emotions, but I low key feel torn. Like
deflated and torn.
No,
you got deflated first and torn second.
I feel torn, but overall, how I felt after finished watching it was like whelmed. Now I will say I got a little heat at the
not overwhelmed, just whelmed.
Just whelmed. But I did get excited about the mid-credit scene. I was kind of like a little hyped about that. But overall, I was whelmed.
All right, whelmed. Okay. And brother Clement Bryant, what's up?
I mean, I liked it, but I definitely felt the total difference between the first movie and this one.
Oh,
it was like the first thing I thought, and then I was like, all right, well, I like it, but it's nowhere near as good as what the first one was. That's like how I felt by the end of it.
Okay, cool. Now, for me, I finished watching that joint. I really liked it. I ain't going front. I did. I really liked it. Like, I was like, look, I'm feeling this. Now, it might also be because the bar from other DC entries has been set at a certain area, but I still think Wonder Woman 84 are probably the better entries in the whole, I guess you could say, DCEU canon. And I liked it a lot for the messages that they dropped on the joint, especially in the opening sequence. Just so you guys know, before we get started, we're spoiling everything. We're just having to talk about it. But definitely the lessons that the child learns and the lesson that the adults learn, I was like, you know what? I'm down with this. I'm down with this. It's nice to see growth and non-growth in fuller characters. But we'll get into this now. So to the deflated one. To the deflated one. Why were you deflated?
I mean, for me, my expectations were a little higher because of the success of the first one. And I just kind of felt like by the end of it, I felt like this wasn't quite what I was expecting. When it comes to the plot, the storylines, the characters, I just was disappointed in almost every facet. So
I dropped something. What's something in the plot that you were kind of disappointed by? Because I got a quote from Hannibal Taboo that dropped on Twitter that I'm gonna read too. He was a little less than whelmed.
I mean, first off, the having the two villain situation, and then like I just wanted Cheetah, really, to be honest. Like I felt like that I didn't have a problem with that. I was like that was one of the stronger plot points I find. But like the whole like the oil and he's a slumlord type thing, but then there's the kid and all of that, and then that scene will take you out, and then you go back to the other scene with Trevor, Steve. It just felt a little jumbled. It felt like it was ambitious for the movie to me.
All right, cool. Got you. Gamma Ray, you were torn. What was tearing you up in this?
Yeah, I was torn because I avoided, reviews and all that, but with social media, it's kind of hard. So it was one of those, I was seeing a lot of, you're either going to like this movie or you're going to hate it. And I did like it in certain parts, but I do see why somebody would walk away and just be like, that's it. It was slow. Yeah, it was slow, a little bit too much throughout. There was some stuff that was kind of dragging out, and I was just like, we still on this scene? Like, we get it, fireworks. Ooh, y'all sharing a moment. Like, let's move on. Okay, she figured out how to fly. Like, okay, great. We don't need like 5 minutes of her just coasting like a kite. Like, yeah, just certain stuff like that. That's what I was just like side-eyeing, like, but now I will say I appreciate the opening scene out the gate. I'm like, all right, little girl, like I see you do your thing, the whole just athleticism of it. I'm all for, like, I see, women of all, shades of color and age, just all that, just doing their thing. I'm all for that. I'm mad she thought she was gonna, cheat her way through that, but yeah, we'll see. But it's like that moment, the opening scene, I really enjoyed some of the fighting scenes, the actions. I was a little concerned of how they were really going to have. I know they kind of glimpsed it in some of the trailers, but Cheetah, shout out to Kristen Wiig. I think she did her thing. Like, honestly, she low-key stole the movie, which adds to I'm torn. I'm like, this is Wonder Woman movie. Like, how did this turn into a movie like the Cheetah movie? But yeah, I will agree, hands down, the Wonder Woman series so far still, I feel like, is the top movies within the DC universe realm. Aquaman is a hard third for me, but that's just because I'm a Jason Momoa. So yeah. But that's why I'm talking. A lot of good parts, but there was
all right. Shouts out to Redbird 101. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you for rolling through. Thank you. I got something from Boogsworthy, but we'll get to you after Clement Bryant. Clement Bryant, you totally hated this movie. So no, could you tell the American people? But what's a part that really kind of got to you, whether positive or negative, on this one?
I think the flying scene, yeah, okay, it was over long, but the fact that she went from giving up her man, right, giving up Steve Trevor, to that flying scene, and you had this whole sequence of her basically trying to figure out, like, okay, you're leaving this guy, your love of the last 7 years that you've been pining for. And I feel like that flying scene was her trying to figure out a way of her overcoming that loss. So emotionally, that flying scene really resonated with me, but a lot of, I will say, and I think the change between the first movie and second movie is that they changed writers. That was the big, was the creative change. And I guess we'll talk about that later, but that's where you get things of like the whole subplot. It felt like a cheesy 80s movie, which is partly what they were going for, but also I think they were trying to speak to the time period of, the rise of Donald Trump and all these guys and the rise of capitalism becoming what it is, like how we know it today. So I think the movie did too much instead of trying to focus in on, and I'll say shout out to Pedro Pascal, because man, hammed up as Maxwell Lord. I was like, I liked his performance. I liked it.
Yo, he definitely gave me the kind of like sleazy rich guy vibes, like the dude that you just want to punch because
exactly,
like he definitely brought that through. I was just like, there's even a look that Diana gives him, like, God, like she gives him a look like, you're so full of it, like it's an all ages show, guys. So it's like, but he gives him a look like you're full of it. Like, I've met you 2 seconds and I know you're full of it.
I mean, but that's the vibe. But I will say, with the writing, the Maxwell Lord that we see in Wonder Woman 1984 is not the Maxwell Lord that we see in the comics. The Maxwell Lord,
not exactly.
Like completely.
The comics Maxwell Lord is, I'd say, way more sinister.
Way more
sinister.
And like, I thought that they were gonna go in that direction with Pedro, but when he was just like, cheesy 80s infomercial guy, I was like, okay, this is cool. I can vibe with this.
Yeah, like someone who was kind of like willing to sell their soul, kind of thing.
Right.
Shouts to Boogsworthy up in the chat. Boogsworthy says, yeah, feeling mixed on this movie. Felt like it was mid, to be honest. Not as good as the first one. It'd be a lie to say it's trash though. Nah, I don't think we're saying it's trash, but I know there's differing opinions. Shouts to Jenna James in the chat. She said, my thoughts for this one are a bit all over the place. Much like the reactions to it, I enjoyed it. Maybe one day we'll look back at it as a misunderstood, overlooked masterpiece. Maybe it really is just as okay and corny as it feels right now. I feel like the pieces were there for a powerful bit of superhero cinema, but the way they were put together just didn't quite click. So, in my opinion, while I'm watching this, I was actually into it. I was like, yo, okay, you got me with the opening piece. I like the costuming, the high flying, acrobatics. I don't know why Amazon's got to play on the edge of a cliff, but you know what I'm saying? That's y'all thing. Y'all do what y'all want to do. Then the whole thing about truth and the girl, and of course Diana cheating, that joint hit hard for me, especially as hashtag new dad. You know what I'm saying? The little guy just turned 3. I'm still learning, still get my my parenting skills on. But I did like that part. The part of like the hard part of being a parent. You know what I'm saying? This isn't the trips to the movies or the ice cream or birthdays. This is the hard part of being a parent. They're like, no, you cheated, and you don't get to win for this, and I won't let you win for this, and you're gonna have to sit down in the corner and take this L. Like I thought that was dope. Then also the people learning about those wishes, I was like, all right, cool, I'm into this. So I think those parts allowed me to kind of, I guess maybe not overlook, because I did think the airplane, the kind of like the fireworks segment went a little long, but I was down with the lessons that people were learning and the slow turn for Kristen Wiig and stuff like that, and even kind of like the father-son thing with Maxwell Lord and his son. It kind of allowed me to maybe just like deal with those easier than be like, yo, this is what the characters learn. I'm digging this. I'm kind of cool. I'm not mad at it, the kind of thing. Of course, you know me. I'd love more action. I wish we would have had more action. But with me, you could have beat up like 100 more dudes and I would have been fine with it. But the highway scene was very cool. Now, before we get deeper, I wanted to throw it to my boy Hannibal Taboo. He put this on Twitter. He always be coming with the quotes. So he says, "Okay, I finished Wonder Woman 84. Paler than I recall the 80s. The third act was a bit facile and forced, but it's not bad per se. Has a great after credit scene. Managed some of the vibe. Pedro is amazing. Kristen Wiig was good. I'm not mad, but cinematic continuity wise, it's a mess." So I want to reach out to you and the chat real quick. The implications of what went on in this movie, not episode, but well, it's kind of like episodic in the way they do the movies, but in this movie, it's kind of a big deal that we never ever reference it or think about it later on. Also, like Diana, our head of the the paleontology department, whatever scientist people, she stole a plane, and the other employee came back and said she was Wonder Woman. Like, it's, and also we the world went into descent into chaos in like 2 seconds, and then just
way too fast.
And then, actually, I can understand the world descending into chaos that fast, but for nobody to ever seem to remember it in the future. But maybe we just didn't have a conversation. Maybe nobody's sitting around like, man, remember back in the 80s, it was wild. Maybe because it was just like, yo, this kind of does mess it up for future continuity, because it's like, y'all almost went to a nuclear war, and then the bombs disappeared in thin air, and they kind of blew up. It just, it's a lot. Mm-hmm. But I will say, the one thing that he said that I didn't think of until I ran it through the second time was, yes, the 80s are a little bit paler than I remember.
I heard that.
I was like, all right, cool. You got the sister that work at the science spot. You got the Asian dude. There's a brother that's homeless.
The little girl in the beginning.
The little girl in the food court.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only people that actually speak that I believe are Black or of color in any sense of the word.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of someone else. I think that's it. I mean, I guess you could count Pedro Pascal.
Diana's boss.
Yeah, at the job, the Black lady at the job. Yeah, but
Kelly from Insecure.
Yeah.
I was like, I need her to be funny, which she was low key.
Yeah, she was. It's like, yo, you hired me.
You're right.
She's like, nice to meet you.
But
I'm not surprised about that. I kind of had my side-eyed issues with that as well, especially with I don't know. I get it. I mean, it was a good gesture, but I just have a thing for this white savior kind of complex where we have a Black homeless man, and here we come, blonde hair. She gonna feed him. I got you.
It's still warm.
I don't know. I will say I appreciate that the guy that was attacking her, they didn't make him a Black guy. I would have really been like, oh, y'all, in today's time, that's what y'all want to do? Portray a Black man attacking it? Yeah. But I thought it was going to be something with the little girl in the beginning, the connection and her watching Diana and be Wonder Woman and stuff like that. It's like, oh, maybe it's just going to fast forward something in the future. She's somebody that was connected to something else. I don't know. It just kind of fell flat with that one. I feel like they just gave us that. I don't know.
It seems to me that with the whole continuity of the whole DCEU, I think they just kind of threw caution to the wind, because they're doing this whole multiverse thing now. So they're like, doesn't really matter. At the speed of getting the movie out, they're just kind of like, okay, let's just put the movie together. We'll do this. And we can say anything that, can't believe in the movie, multiverse.
Yeah, we just like, oh, this happened somewhere else. Don't worry about it.
Right. It's kind of like what Marvel's doing with the Netflix Marvel shows. They're getting they're gonna start doing it. It's like, okay, multiverse. So I think that's why they're just kind of like throwing caution to the wind and just being like, this is a separate entry. Anything else, forget about it. Or there was magic, because with Diana, you can just be like, the gods erased history, and
It's not a thing
Yeah.
anymore.
so it's like,
once the wishes were renounced, the memory of something, you can always play, because Diana, you do start to step into that magical part. So you could be like, once the wishes were reneged, and the stone, I guess, became whole again, because since he renounced his wish, I guess the stone came back, and then maybe all the memories of the. But
What about the
then you
one
have to
wish
make mental
rule?
gymnastics to kind of like make that work, which is, problematic at times. You know what I'm saying? But shouts to Jenna James said, this definitely feels like they worked with the first draft, which is a complaint I had for the Joker as well. One thing I can safely say is that the action was a step back from the first one. It felt as if it was shoved into the film because, quote, this is a good movie moment to have action, I guess. It didn't quite feel like part of the story or the character growth like it did in the first film. I think I'd agree. I'd agree on the highway film. I mean, the highway scene. The highway scene did kind of like, I was like, whoa. Oh, this is where that happens. It kind of felt out of place, but at the same time, we've seen the trailer so many times because we've been waiting so long. So you kind of get this idea of like what happens on the highway from the trailer, and then after seeing this, it does seem kind of like, because when she did, I'm like, ain't you gonna blow your cover? Like you can't just like, can you do this? Can you just change it? Like this dude knows who you are. Like you can't just take it and switch your clothes. And
Right
be
there.
Like, yo, yeah. She was like, yo, look, give me the stone. I'm like, yo, he's looking at your face. You ain't Clark Kent. You ain't gonna fool nobody without the glasses. All right, you gonna be like, hey, that's Diana from the job. Like you gonna be like, ain't that Diana from the Smithsonian? Like, but the White House scene, I wasn't mad at. I was like, oh yeah, that was. I mean, Kristen Wiig, Cheetah did take her out. It was you hate to see it, but at the same time, it was dope. And I also like how they handle in this movie a way to give everyone something to do in the action scene. So Wonder Woman had her issue. Pedro, even though he's not Maxwell, even though he's not the biggest fighter, he even had his thing where he's like, oh, maybe if I could get this guy to wish something, then, of course, Steve hits him with the handcuffs. He's kind of like fighting off people or whatever. And then you got Cheetah's whole thing, kind of like, yo, I ain't gonna let you take my wish. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got what I want. I'm cool now and I'm strong. So I did like that. But I will say the action probably, that scene with her on the battlefield, man, come on. It's hard to touch that one.
It's very
What was it, like the Dead Man's Land or whatever, the section she couldn't cross, like everybody died in that section. It's hard to beat that one.
I mean,
same song, music.
Yeah,
I like the clad. That was.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, as far as the writing, it's like in the first movie you had Alan Heinberg, Zack Snyder, and I forget, Jason Fuchs, who did the story and the screenplay. Here you had Patty Jenkins, David Callum, and Jeff Johns. And Jeff Johns, we know what Jeff Johns does. Jeff Johns is good as comics, but as far as film and TV, he's kind of a mixed bag.
He's not good.
Right. Whereas, like, if it's Stargirl, Green Lantern, fine, good. But if he touches any other character, it's spotty at best. So I think that's kind of what the big thing was, especially about the tone. Because when I got in, you started seeing the tone right up in this movie, and I was like, oh, this is different. And me and my girlfriend watched it, I was like, oh, wait, this tone is really, it's different. I really expected even to carry the same tone from the first movie to the second, because it was so successful and worked really well. And that was exactly what we needed Diana to be back in 2017. And I think that tone now, especially with the pandemic, was expectedly what I think what we were all expecting out of this movie.
Do you think that it was impacted by them trying to really play up? Because I got a whole lot of 80s vibes, which is obvious the movie takes place in the 80s, but it gave me strong, like almost compared to how heavy it is with Stranger Things. Like it really, the whole like how movies were back in the 80s, like everything. That's kind of watching that. I felt like I was almost watching an 80s movie. So do you think it kind of got lost in translation because of that? Because I mean, trying to
that's part of it. I think
I feel like that works for a episode, you know, a series. You got episodes here or there, but I think for a movie where we've, you know, a timepiece, it just, I don't know. I feel like that kind of went a little too corny, you know, on some stuff, but that's just me.
I agree, and I think that's why the tone was so, I don't want to say off-putting, but very noticeable for at least me. And I think that's what happened. They got too bogged down, and it's like, oh, we're in 1984 versus World War I, World War II. You know, now we're out of the whole Zack Snyderverse, and they were in the 80s, so let's focus on the 80s, and they doubled down on it instead of focusing on who won Wonder Woman's character and the plot mechanics.
Yeah.
Like,
I found it a bit.
Go ahead.
Sorry. I found it a bit inconsistent with the whole like dancing around, like we're gonna lean into nostalgia, but eventually we got to get the story going at some point. So it was like the tone like shifted because it's just all of a sudden now we got to focus on these plot points, and it's like versus the first one, you know, the setting didn't necessarily dictate what was going on as much as it was in this one. Is sometimes it just took you out. I'm like, oh, that's just a random 80s reference now, kind of just thrown in.
Yep.
When it's so they should have just kind of spread that out a little bit more evenly, and it maybe would have felt or read just a little better.
Yeah, and I think that was the thing. It's like when I'm watching the movie, I'm like, okay, I dig the vibe, but like even like there's parts of it, like the flying scene, even the fireworks scene that we've all established is kind of overlong, and even the relationship between Wonder Woman and Cheetah, there's shades of the tone from the first movie in that here, but it gets jumbled up in the overarching message of what they're trying to express, which is why when you get to the end of the movie, you see all these cut scenes, you know, nuclear warheads, money, about talking about greed and chaos, whereas the first movie, that's what it already was. It was already leaning into it straight from the get-go. Whereas like, oh wait, we forgot to bring that in, so they ham-fisted that in the third act. At least to me. Just
word. See, and big shout out to Panda that's up in the spot. Hey, what up? And Jenna James agrees with you, Clement, saying, yeah, Jeff can do Stargirl and GL, but that's about it. You can tell his handprints are on certain scenes. Keep him away from Star Wars, I guess, from Star Wars, Patty, LMAO. So with me, it's funny because I noticed the tone shift, but that's something that didn't bother me because I just assumed like, yo, it's what, 70, 80 so years later or whatever. It's like, the world's going to be different. She's going to be different. So I guess that one didn't really get to me, and I didn't really feel like there were a lot of 80s references. The opening scene where we come into after Child Diana, the opening scene, and then him changing clothes. But after that, I didn't really feel a lot of 80s references. I felt that we were kind of like off to like Max Lord and following his kind of descent into chaos, and then also learning like you can't have everything you want. And what is the definition of more? Like, more is this all-consuming beast that, you know, will, after a while, completely, you know, just consume you. Now, was it Jenna James that said that she was mad that both movies ended with I think it was Jenna James said both movies ended with a speech. And it's like, yeah, now that's the thing where I could either take or leave because I understand this is the character she is. So I kind of get that part. But at the same time, like she's grown since then. So would would she still be kind of stilted in doing that, or would we still expect that from her? That's one thing that I'm kind of on the fence on. Because when she first came in there, I was like, yo, she gonna kill this dude? I was like, cause Diana has killed Maxwell Lord before. And if y'all haven't seen it, trust me, it's a good one.
That's what I was getting at. Exactly what I was getting at.
If you haven't seen her kill him before, it's a good one. But he deserved it. So I was wondering if she was going to do that, but when she didn't, I was just like, okay, I kind of get it. So you got to drop knowledge on the people. And I get like this is the moment to kind of like do your sort of like we are the world kind of vibe, but then you also rob us from a cool fight scene of some sort. So I don't know. I know Wonder Woman, in most cases, Wonder Woman and Superman are our characters for like hope, believe in yourself. It's truth and it's love and you know, you can do it. But, you know, sometimes it is cool to just see her come in and drop kick somebody. So, you know, I might not have been so kind of like against the speech at the end if the fight scene with Cheetah was longer. Maybe if there was another fight scene with Cheetah, like a third fight scene, like say the time they meet at the satellite base was their third time, because I do like their matches against one another. So I'm not against that, but I do think the speech kind of mirrors the first movie too much, or was that a situation where they were trying to create a thematic thread through the first and second movie? You know, I'm not sure. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'll take
I'm
a
not sure on that one.
phrase over a monologue any day.
Yeah.
Like me, short, sweet, like I'll be back. Perfect. I don't need to know why you coming back, when you coming back, how you coming back, what led you like I don't know. It gets kind of like I just get there and I'm like, she's still talking. Like, I don't know. I know there's a deep and like meaning to some, you know, certain monologues, but I'm just not a fan of them in like action movies, especially superhero movies. I'm just like, the villain can have theirs because you know that's leading up to when they're about to, you know, get it, but everybody else, it just be, it's like I've heard this before. Truth, justice, American way, do right. All right, let's do this.
She said, "Do right."
Like, how many times is like we know, but just give us a cool catchphrase.
And that I think that's a good point, because it's like, and I also think it depends on what kind of superhero movie it is. You have a movie like Avengers Endgame that is wrapping up, you know, 23 movies, like over 10 years. You're gonna have some speeches versus, or you have like a Dark Knight where Christopher Nolan is about psychological, all he does is write dialogue, versus a hit 'em up movie. You're just looking like, okay, cool catchphrase, okay, cool fight scene, okay, cool graphic, that was it. So I think it really depends on what the whole goal of the superhero movie is. First Wonder Woman movie, I was like, okay, cool, because we haven't seen, you know, Wonder Woman on screen in live action like this. Versus the second movie, what is she being like, continue that whole vibe that we had in the first movie, but continue that, but also escalate it and also bring in interesting villains, which is what they kind of did with Cheetah and, you know, Maxwell Lord. But it's just like kind of half-baked. But I still like the movie because, at least from my end, we haven't had a superhero movie all year. And that was where I was like conflicted in watching this, because I'm like, okay, we're not going to get Black Widow this year. We're not going to get Shazam 2. We're not going to get anything that remotely of what we expected. So this is what we have. So I'm kind of like, cool, I like it, but what else is out there?
Where Shasta Jenna James said, one thing that was a major issue, I did not see one Jerry curl. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. And one curl out there, come on now. You know what I'm saying? 84, you know there was a curl. Somebody had to activate out there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
It was I had a little issue when they walked past the b-boy dancing. I was like,
Yo, the
I
whole
was
B-boy
like-
crew was white, son.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
no.
was like, look, I know y'all love stealing our culture though, but check it.
Of our rhythm.
It's like, I know y'all love stealing that culture and everything, but look, I'm gonna have to tell you this. In '84, y'all hadn't stole that yet. I'm just saying, y'all hadn't stole that yet. Y'all stole it, but y'all hadn't stole it yet. I'm just saying, you know.
Unfortunate.
Really? Like,
So-
none of us out there like break down dance. Okay. I could have
Yeah,
got Turbo. I'm just saying, like, you know, Kelly. I was just like, come on, but yeah. I'm glad I wasn't the only one that was like, hold up.
Nah, I peeped that. Now I will say, when she first wished for it, and you saw kind of like the wind rush or whatever, and we saw how the guy became Trevor, I was like, hold up. So, this wish ain't gonna work out. I was like, this wish, because at first the dude was like, y'all want a coffee? I'm like, word, psh, coffee came right out. Then,
Yeah,
then old girl wished for Trevor, and I was like, hold up. So what happened to that dude? I was like, this wish ain't gonna work out like you like.
I feel like they should have acknowledged that that was an actual human being that just stopped existing. I kept saying throughout the movie, I was like, "Oh, dude, I had a
I was like,
family."
yo, what happened to him? So was he like locked in like a pocket dimension or something? Like, what happened to him?
Like his soul, to me, it felt like it was like a soul transfer type of deal. So in my mind, this guy literally went to whatever nice place blankness that Steve went to, or he just was like locked and not there. And I'm like, someone should have, they always do this whole morality thing with the hero and stuff like that. They should have had her at least think at some point that it was a person.
Yeah, because
a little bit when they were trying to justify it.
Yeah, because her realization was more about, I can't allow my love for you, my kind of like want for you to destroy me, and then in turn leave me unable to be able to protect those that I'm here to protect, which is cool. But then you never sat around and was like, yo, I'm kind of doing wrong by letting you be here because someone's lost their life or essence or spirit or whatever. Which leads me back to that speech. Show, don't tell. I like what Max went through. I like what Cheetah went through. Even what Diana went through when she said, I renounced my wish, she starts running. And I'm like, cool, you start to see her get stronger because she's getting back what she lost. Cool. But then that speech at the end, I would like them to show the people who have been affected similar to Wonder Woman. I mean, not, of course, you can't show every single person in the world, but show a little more than just like a very long speech. And maybe let us know about the tensions with, Russia and whoever else early on, instead of just like busting to the president, like, yo, what's up? We in the Oval Office. I want you to make wishes. But all right, it wasn't exactly like that. Shouts out to Tyler Bennett, but yeah, that's one thing that I enjoyed is the show don't tell for those three, but then the speech at the end, it did get kind of long, but for when I'm enjoying it as a whole, I wasn't mad at it. It's one of those things where I was like, I kind of like let it go. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's where
I felt like I would have appreciated more with when she said her goodbyes to Steve versus her just like kissing him and he's still technically himself, well, technically Steve, while she's running off, and then she like, I renounce my wish. If she would have did that like in front of him and they did the whole camera 360 again and then like back to the guy and then he's like, well, what's going on? And then she's like crying, but she's like, I'm sorry, get you caught up in this. I can't explain, but just some kind of like acknowledgement, like Ninja said, like,
yeah, because they just took that man life over and was like, whatever.
Yeah, and then she like running away, and we see her heal. I don't know. I feel like that would have been more true to just the character that they've tried to develop of Wonder Woman. But because they made the guy seem like almost low-key pathetic. Like he's by himself, he's a slob, he might have a job. I mean, it's an engineer, so he's kind of smart. Look at his clothes, he's kind of weird. I don't know. I feel like they try to detach us, like, don't feel sorry for him.
He back. Look, he got good clothes on.
Like, I don't know. I was like, there is somebody that body you took over, but okay.
Yes,
I think my question was, why did they have to have him take over a body in the first place?
Exactly.
That was my question.
True.
Because I think parts of the movie would have done better if you had Steve come back from the dead, his own body, his own corpse, whatever you have it be, and then you have it at the end, okay, I need to renounce my wish, and you have the scene with them playing out, I love you, goodbye, I'll never forget you, thank you for coming back, and thank you for, helping me through this time, and you see him fade away, and then it's kind of establishes her to set up the rest of the movie. I think that would have been a better arc than having him just take over a body. But I think that was also something that they did for time.
Maybe. Because Jenna James did say this feels like a first draft. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is definitely, it feels like, they could have refined this more. And Panda said, yeah, that was kind of bootleg of the Soul Stone not to give his body back. Like, that's messed up.
Also, cosmetically, it just threw me off when they did bring him back, quote unquote. Like, of course, the actor Chris Pine, I guess, has aged, but they didn't do anything to cover that up in the movie, so he looked older than he should have been, because it should have been like the day after he died. So the whole time during the trailer, I thought some funky stuff had happened, and then like he just been gone aging. He had grays and everything, so I'm like, what? So if it just seemed like there was some small detailed things in relation to the whole Steve Trevor storyline, and I actually just really didn't like it at all.
So you trying to say even if the man gets old and gray, you ain't going? No, it's fine.
No, that's not what I was saying. It's just one of those things where you thought something in the trailer and then you're like, well, that's not what it is. But now it also kind of doesn't make sense. But I honestly wasn't a big fan of the Steve Trevor storyline to begin with in this movie. To bringing them in and pretty early on he's gonna have to just go die again anyway. It just felt that for me kind of takes my emotion out of it, because I'm like, we already did this. The way he went out in the first movie was so tough and so like not cool, so to speak. I just feel like this time was a little bit more like, we're just gonna put you through the emotions just to put you through the emotions. So I just wasn't a fan of it.
Yeah, he was more of a lesson for her to learn.
Yeah.
Instead of, kind of, being like, you know what, I'm gonna save everybody. I'm gonna go out like a G and like fly up and be like, pow, and like, I'm dead, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With new love interest, the guy.
It's weird. I'm even down with that as long as they acknowledge it, but they never did. You do see old boy at the end in the snow, and she's like, I like your clothes. It's like, yeah, man, people been clowning me. But, you know what I'm saying, I'm glad you like it. You know what I'm saying? He ain't try to holler at her, though. He was just, you know what I'm saying? He respected her. You know what I'm saying? He ain't going to try to holler. He was just like, have a Merry Christmas or whatever. And that was it.
That was my issue with it. I thought that was I think I would have, Diana, you good?
Oh, no, you good. Sorry.
No, I was going to say, I would have liked to see Diana kind of start to move on a little bit from Steve.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that's what they were going to do when they were like, oh, okay, this is the guy in his real life, body, his personality, whatever you have it be. And then it's just kind of like, happy holidays, see you later. I'm like, that could have been the point where you start to see her move on a little bit.
All right, hold on, because headphones been tripping or audio be tripping sometimes. All right, we good. Why is the audio tripping? Audio tripping on a brother for real? So y'all just gonna trip on a brother like this? This what y'all gonna do? All right, hold on. I got this. Hold on. Let me flip to this. Boom. All right, hold on. Let me see. Can't believe the audio's gonna trip on a brother. Really though. Let's see. Hold on. glad some people jumped in. All right, cool. Let's see. Got marked up. All right, cool. We got marked up. And we got marked up. And we got Keith.
And now it's a party.
What's up?
Right, so yeah, we good.
What's going on, Mr. Bryant?
He's all in my
Hello,
face.
Ducky.
Yeah.
All the time.
Here we go. We got these two back.
Oh wait, so who's all here? Let me see. It's a party now. Gamma Ray. What up, Gamma Ray? What up?
Yeah,
Gamma
up in
Ray.
here. We doing it now. We up in here. We doing it now, y'all.
Guess what I do now? My job changed. I work on nuclear machines that emit gamma radiation every day. They keep telling me not to eat the chips, but I'm not listening.
Yeah.
That was a better monologue than what Diana gave.
So, oh man. So, real quick to
Wow.
Mark Dub and and Keith Cooper. How did y'all feel about the Wonder Woman film?
Lacking.
Like, you know what, man? I was
For me.
really excited. I don't know why. I still hold on to hope. I still dream.
What?
I still dream.
It's not going
That's
to
over there, guy.
It's not going to
He's in this corner on my screen, y'all. Shh. But yeah, man, like I still dream. I still get disappointed. I watched the first Wonder Woman just to kind of like re-spark the feeling. I was like, can you feel it? Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Okay, and then it went bad. It went south. I watched the sequel. I no longer felt the magic. Tito Jackson was no longer strumming the guitar over the city. It did not feel as good. I did like her brighter colors.
They had good colors.
Yeah.
You know, it popped on the screen.
That was giving us 80s vibes.
She did have that solid gold outfit in the end, though. Like, I got to give her props. She came through solid gold at the end. It looked fly. And then I was also like, is this kind of like a submissive's dream? Because it definitely has a dominatrixy vibe to it. But I was like, I'll let it slide for the film to happen. But she came through solid gold at the end, and it was kind of fly.
But you do know the creator, William Moulton Marston of Wonder Woman, he was into some different stuff.
Was about to say.
If y'all don't know, y'all got to look him up. He is quite the character.
Yup. You beat me there, Mark. You got me. But yeah. I did have a question for the group though. So now that we see 2 weeks ago, Disney announced Patty Jenkins to direct Rogue Squadron, the new Star Wars movie. Do you guys worry about that movie now? Or how are you feeling that? Because I think Patty, for me, is still capable, but I think my thing with Wonder Woman 1984 was the writing. That was my thing. So
I'm gonna interject real quick on that, because I'm gonna make it real quick. I don't really give a damn about Star Wars like that, so she can screw it up all she want. I'm not gonna really watch it. This ain't gonna move me to watch it. Like, you know, I was going that direction. I'm like, I don't know. Patty had some capital with me, and this. Think of it as a superhero movie. It just felt like an overpriced fable or fairy tale, which is nothing wrong with that. But it was like what, all but 5-10 minutes actions of her doing something. It felt like a mishmash of concepts, and honestly, I wish it would have been like they could have made like the Monkey Paw, the movie horror film, down the line, took Wonder Woman out of this. I felt like she was a cameo in her own movie. Like it was just like whatever.
Cheetah movie.
That makes sense.
No, it wasn't even the Cheetah movie. It was the Maxwell Lord movie with Cheetah just saying, "Hey, how's it going?"
You know what I have a problem with? Because DC, they always do this. It stuck in my craw. The Maxwell Lord story, like Maxwell Lord, his power was like the Purple Man's power, where he could suggest something and you had to do it, and it caused like a whole lot of chaos and havoc in the comic books. And ultimately, spoiler alert, Wonder Woman ended him. Why y'all ain't do that? Why y'all give him some wish master power? I have to make the wish, make the deal. What did you mean? Like,
well,
man,
I guess he kind of accepted the role of the Duke of Deception kind of thing. Now I did want to throw the Ninja Yo-Yo real quick. Tyler Bennett said that speak your truth. It looks like you holding your tongue on some things. You know what I'm saying? It looked like you deep in thought, my sister.
I mean, I'm just I didn't want to be, the Debbie Downer on some stuff, but
This NERDSoul, you gotta keep it real. We talk about Jerry curls.
She gets
only
real
like
critical.
2 black people speaking. You know what I'm saying?
Staying on the topic here, or going back one and then going back to the current topic. To answer Clement, I think Patty Jenkins will do just fine with Star Wars. I mean, I too am not a big Star Wars person, but I have enough sense to know that thank God for the Mandalorian getting like revitalizing that whole like community and everything. And I think since they're on the upswing, I don't think they're gonna let themselves stumble. And I definitely wouldn't put it all on that one person. I agree. I think that the writing was probably more of an issue than anything else with Wonder Woman 1984. And then going from that, the Max Lord story did feel like it was too weighted, and it wasn't the most interesting thing even going on in the movie to me. So like the oil deals and all that, I just really didn't care. I was like, oh, this guy, I'm like, this guy, let me go see what Cheetah's doing, or
Ballad of the Black Gold, boy.
Yeah, so yeah. I do agree with Mark on that. So
yeah, you know what? You couldn't really ever be Debbie Downer with Coop the DC killing machine over here. He will be Debbie Downer at every opportunity that we say anything about DC or Star Wars. Everybody asked you what you felt about Star Wars. Hush.
DC kills itself, and yeah, I tell you anyway because I'm on the show for my opinion.
Can we say that Jon Favreau is the GOAT when it comes to armored storytelling? Because he knocked it out. He knocked it out with Iron Man. He revitalized everything with Iron Man, and then he came back and did the same thing with. He saved Star Wars after they did to themselves what
DC does.
It really sucks.
I just don't know why DC just won't just plagiarize, like copy what Marvel's done. You see the success. Pick a non-forefront character. Start the story with them. I mean, they literally tried to get from they wanted Endgame and Infinity War movies after doing like 1 or 2 movies. Like, no, sorry, it's a long 10-year road.
The funny thing is, I remember when they did that whole thing, like Batman versus Superman. Everybody's all hype, and I was like, "But guys, I don't know.
Moves in between.
I don't know if we should be doing this soon."
Right.
Now, I will say this. This is another thing that makes me like Wonder Woman 84 more than these other films, because this movie is another film in the DCEU that has much less of a hand of Zack Snyder over it. And
yes,
it is very noticeable that this is it's more enjoyable for me. The sun actually came out.
It didn't look like it got shot in Hades, for one.
It didn't make me want to rip my eyeballs out.
Like everywhere that he's been in life, like Gotham, like everywhere was dark. In all of his movies, like they had light in this movie. I'm like, dang, she got colors on her costume. She wasn't gray.
Is Tim Burton his best friend? Do you just hang with Tim Burton and drink and have gothic tea parties or something? Like, color is okay. It's not gonna hurt you.
Right. No, man. So I do like I do like the messages. I am kind of I am kind of against the break dancers. All right, it's like two black people got to talk. All right, you know what I'm saying, and like the father and son stuff was cool, but the oil stuff, I don't know. I feel like it would have been all right if we slid past that and got more to his own motivations.
Yeah.
But as a whole, I enjoyed it because this is a DC movie that I've been waiting to see for a while. And even though it does have some first draftness to it, I still feel like it's handled better. Oh, here we go. Than JL. I still think it was handled better than
Oh,
that.
hands down. Hands
And-
down.
And for all y'all people waiting for that Snyder cut, I'm gonna tell y'all until the day it come out. Don't get your hopes up. I'm just saying.
See, on that
see these
note,
hoes?
like,
Here they are. They up there.
see,
They up there. That's where it's at.
I'm curious.
It is going to be a beautiful cluster F bomb of a movie. A 4-hour cluster F. Y'all going to really regret giving
And this was
4 hours of your
32
time.
minutes for some reason.
I'm going to be the only person smiling because
Wow.
even in loss, there's victory for me. Ask me to define that victory. I don't know. I'm just saying words at this point. I know it's going to be terrible, but I'm here for all 4 hours of its terribleness.
Now, as far as the Snyder Cut, I'm curious to see the Snyder Cut just to see Zach's vision fully realized and not having Joss come in and step all over it. I'm curious. I didn't say I'm looking forward to it. I said I'm curious. I want to see.
The reason I want to see it is so that I can come on here and be like, see, guys, Josh ain't have nothing to do with it. It was bad from the start.
Curious because of all that stuff that happened. I'm listening to it, but also I'm curious after all this stuff that happened with Ray Fisher this past year. I'm curious to see what the effects or did not have on the Snyder Cut. And the other part of it is, even though that Zach can be very hit or miss, I feel like Zach's a little bit of tone is what carried the first Wonder Woman movie through, because he was a co-writer on it with the story. So I'm like, here I'm like, it's definitely noticeable. Yeah, I like color, I love color, but also I'm like, and I'm not like I'm not a Snyder fanboy, but I'm also like, there's definitely a noticeable difference. Mark and Blair, before we came on, we were talking about the whole tone and how it was just so different. I'm like, you could feel like Zach is not there. While you have tone, you have color, the grit of the story is not there. At least what I was missing.
It doesn't feel cohesive. I admit this story just doesn't. It don't know where it wanted to go, and even with that, like I said, for me, I kind of enjoyed the whole Mac. I enjoyed Pedro Pascal's acting with this. I think he was just interesting to me a little bit. I wanted more Wonder Woman, but it's like they was like clearly they didn't give a damn. And
I'm a Pedro Pascal fan, but I was like, man, this is written so bad. This is poo-poo pie. This is not what.
Oh no, man! I think I watched. I don't know. Maybe my sound system was messed up. I don't think he delivered as well as y'all do. And I don't think it's his fault. I could tell there was effort, but like his accent wasn't consistent.
Oh yeah, he kind of did whatever with the accent.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not going. I'm like, I'm sometimes.
See, that's why, like, on a general level, I enjoy this. Like, once you start picking at it, you know what I'm saying? Now
there's a lot of things to pick at.
Tyler Bennett said, "Wonder Woman or Miss Marvel." It's Wonder Woman. It's a slam dunk. Come on, man. It's Wonder Woman.
Like as in the characters or the movie?
No, as in the movie. The movie.
Wonder Woman.
Ooh, I'll take Miss Marvel over this one.
No, I wouldn't take, because there were things that literally made me roll my eyes in Miss Marvel, but Wonder Woman didn't. So
I could rewatch Miss Marvel. I cannot rewatch Wonder Woman 2.
Peep this. Here's one thing. Wonder Woman and Wonder Woman 84 didn't super overuse the music of the time. Some people might say that they didn't use any, which kind of could be to its detriment. Miss Marvel, on the other hand, like it's like, dude, we here, we in the 90s, we got it. We got you. We understand. We get it. Can we go? Can we go with the story? Because we get it.
Look, I'm just gonna be honest. Samuel Jackson give me the nod for the order.
But he's the only pro in that whole scenario of a movie. I mean, at least Wonder Woman 84 has got a couple of, like, at least 2, 3, 4, 5 things going for it.
You know what? I will say that the thing that I thought was corny about both movies, at the end, you see Captain Marvel. It doesn't matter how many times I get knocked down, I always get up. And you're reaching for that inspirational shit, and ain't nobody feel inspired. I felt inspired to turn that shit off, and I was at the theater.
We are ages,
Wonder Woman 84? I'm not talking to you. You got to be the hero.
I need to put down something, though. Ben Mendelsohn from Captain Marvel, dude carries through, because, like...
Oh, yeah, Ben Mendelsohn, I'll give Ben Mendelsohn his.
Yeah,
he was good. So, like, and, like, let's be honest, and the fact of you had the cat that kind of messed up Fury's eye, I kind of dug that. Like, that was the thing that was like...
Well,
that's like...
The problem with Miss Marvel, even though I understand why they wanted to do it, but they do it so much better and effortlessly in Wonder Woman, just letting a woman be strong. See, in Wonder Woman, they just allow Wonder Woman to be strong. She's strong, she does strong things, that's it.
Yeah.
In Miss Marvel, they keep walking around saying, we're strong, we're strong. Do you remember we're strong? Women are strong. Don't forget we're strong. We're strong. We're always strong. We're stronger than men. Men are weak. Don't forget, we're strong. And I'm like, no, Wonder Woman, they just showed her be cool. She wasn't like, I'm getting ready to go through the Badlands by myself because no one else will do it. No, she just got up. She was like, I got
this. You know what they cool though, Mike? If they would have actually gave Wonder Woman more parts in the Wonder Woman movie in part 2 to show how strong she is. Just give us more Wonder Woman. We don't need Chris Pine.
Bruh, I will never forgive Miss Marvel for literally playing I'm Just a Girl. I was just like, turn it off. I'm done. When they played it, I was like, I'm out. I'm done. Forget it. It's over. I was like, cut it off. Turn the lights off. Pull out the plugs. We're done. I get it. Just get out of here. I'm done. Turn everything off. Let's wrap it up. Cut the film. We don't need no more. Stop everybody from editing. Y'all don't do that now.
Got the editors too.
maybe like an orchestral swell or something powerful. When they put that on, when I heard the Stefani voice come through, I said, okay, all right, well, you know what? Hey, I'm here, and the popcorn is good.
It's gonna happen. It's a 90s movie, man. You know what's gonna happen.
But I think in some sort of way they threw shade at the Marvel Netflix shows because they used the same song. They used Nirvana at the end of Captain Marvel, when she was like fighting, the big when she was in the simulator or whatever. They used the song that for the Defenders that they used they used that same song that Netflix used for the Defenders show in Captain Marvel. Sorry, that was like long-winded.
They got a 2-for-1.
Yeah, they got it. They kind of did. But also, I think the fact of that Captain Marvel is what it was, what led us to getting Nia DaCosta to direct the sequel. So we're gonna see how she does with the sequel, and I think the sequel is gonna be a lot better than the first one.
Yeah,
I like Captain Marvel, but also I think it's gonna be great. I didn't want to hear.
I'm one of those people that thought like it was good for what it was. I was like, you know what? It's cool for what it was. It allowed us to get, some backstory. Cool, you know what I'm saying? We good. But as far as, I'm not rushing back to watch that again. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I
get that.
I was just like, dude, y'all trying too hard. Like, y'all could just let it happen. Like, y'all are trying too hard to like prove to us. That is
the one time they copied DC's homework and they copied their name too. It was real bad. Like, like don't copy the name. God dang.
I think the issue is like when everybody tries to do a 80s or 90s type period movie. I think that's where they struggle because they feel that obviously people that are watching this lived through that, and I mean it really wasn't that long ago, so they know what that culture was back then. So we have to do it right and really play up on it because everybody's all about nostalgia, obviously, because we're getting reboot out the booty hole. It's just ridiculous. But like they're not as successful with 80s and 90s, but if it's like a time period, I mean like World War I mean Captain America, even Wonder Woman, the first movie, they do that well because I mean all we know is just what's in the history books.
From
we
books
don't
and
have
stuff.
any visuals, so they're creating a story and we have no choice but to kind of be like, oh, okay, that is probably, but like
it's kind of like watching the
that ain't right. Like, so I don't know.
It's kind of like watching the Notorious movie because it's like,
it's
like, come on,
I was just thinking the Tupac.
I was there. I was there. I lived through this. I was getting the source I was getting the source every month and getting vibe just about every issue it came out. Like I was there. I was watching MTV and BET. I was there. This movie is, but Notorious is straight comedy. If you can get your friends together, if like your friends that like Tupac or Biggie or whatever, or watch it, that movie is awesome.
That dude is still a person.
It's awesome for a bad reason.
Y'all got me crying, man. Thinking about that damn movie.
Oh man!
Hey, I did see. I saw Gravy, bro.
Being old, you know what I'm saying? Better being old than being what else?
Oh, you know hey, look, man! Look, it beat the hell out of the alternative. You be old, or you can be dead. I'm gonna hang around. I might be. I don't know.
Ain't
I
no
might
wishing
be
stones around.
The oldest amongst us. I'm pretty ancient.
Yes. You are.
Tyler Bennett says
that's okay. That means I'm
experienced. History like Diddy.
Man, did Diddy not make himself in that movie like the most positive, inspirational brother?
Bruh.
He every time you see him on that movie, he was like, "No, Big, we got to do better than this. We got to rise above our situation and get up out of the hood with these raps that you made." And I posit to this day,
they do the same.
Shout out to my brother Marcel P. Black. He pointed it out. He said, "Biggie, I'm the biggest Biggie fan." He was like, "That brother ain't writing not one positive lyric." Like if you could find a positive bar, he ain't got no positive songs. If you got a positive
Biggie was
bar,
not the most positive brother out in them rap streets.
Juicy was his most positive song.
He was probably a nice guy, but he won't the lyrics weren't that positive. You know what I'm saying? No. He wasn't about to do a collab with De La Soul or something. You know what I'm saying?
Why we gotta bring that movie up? Whoa,
yo, man. But anyway, back to Wonder Woman. Let's get around it. Let's get around and score this thing on out of 1 to 10. You know what I'm saying? Keith, where you at with Wonder Woman? 1 to 10.
I'll give it a doable 6. It's okay for a one-time watch. It's color. It's not depressing. It doesn't make you want to pull your eyeballs out from depression. So that's a start. No Kirk. It doesn't feel like I said Kirk. Kirk Snyder. Whatever. Zack Snyder.
Kirk Snyder. That's like his brother who's an accountant.
But it's
who is also very dark.
But it's just
dark accounting.
The movie. That might be something I'm into. But
all your finances are going under.
There is a movie called The Accountant, but hey, when they go on and it crash. But
with Batfleck,
it's just the movie's okay for a one-time watch. I feel like I don't know. I can't speak for Wonder Woman fan, but I think they deserve better. I think this isn't going to be the inspirational film they think it is. It's okay, but it's kind of meh. And I ain't gonna lie, by the time each time Pedro was touching people, I just kept feeling ill because he was looking disgusting. I'm like, man, COVID. I just like,
he was a fiend, man. He was a fiend for them wishes.
Wishing, crackhead type of vibe. Just
instead of him using like Maxwell Lord's like real power, they give him this old monkey paw power, and he turned into the parasite with Wishmaster power. He's like, "What is your wish? I should be fat off of your wishes.
Give me your life force."
Before we get to the next score, shouts to Tyler Bennett. Tyler Bennett just called out Howdy Doody. Howdy Doody said, Wonder Woman 84 was a bad movie with a good actor, and Captain Marvel was a good movie with a bad actor. Bruh.
Bars.
Tyler said
mean-
you playing semantics. Bruh. Come on.
Hola,
now.
Ovico.
Come on now.
Those are bars.
Look, Howdy. I know you like MCU. I've seen your comments in here. I know you like the MCU. I do too. Love me some Marvel. Marvel's great, but Captain Marvel is not on the level with Captain Marvel ain't on the level of like Thor: The Dark World, my dude. I mean, let's be honest.
Whoa.
Let's be real.
Dang.
Let's be real.
Mike,
The
you
only
my
thing
boy,
that
but that is
Marvel
disrespectful.
is them
because
switching the roles of the Kree and the Skrulls. That was cool. I dug that. We kind of retconned the whole scratch and eye thing with the cat, which made it actually dumber than the original story that was told. And come on, man, let's not front like Captain Marvel. Come on.
Mike,
Yeah,
You
man.
saw us.
we gotta have
pick
words.
apart Wonder Woman. You think you ain't gonna come in here and try to say Captain Marvel's so great, and I ain't gonna pick that joint apart? Come on now.
Real quick, shout out to WandaVision.
Come on.
She getting on
a landline and talking to people in space. Come on, my dude. Come on.
Speaking of Captain Marvel,
Don't come
I'm
in
glad
here.
she's going to make Monica Rambeau a more dark woman in WandaVision, so they fixed that. So at least they figured that out, like, oh, we got a cast right for Monica Rambeau. And she was like, a little light-skinned girl. She was cute and all. But
Hold on. Why are we tripping again? What?
it wasn't Thor: Dark World bad, but
It was mediocre.
it was better than that.
Mike, we gonna have words later.
Yo, Captain Marvel was passable. I'll give you that. But when you start trying to put it over Wonder Woman, it's like, my dude, come on. Don't make me pick and poke at that joint. Because let's be honest, the chemistry between the two mains was not there. It won't there. At least the chemistry over here on this side was a lot better. This is the cast that I would rather watch than the cast on Captain Marvel. Like, my dude, stop it.
Okay, is it just me, y'all, or did Chris Pine look like he was going through something? Like, I mean, I understand that his character was back from the dead and living in somebody else's body,
He
but
did not look his best.
Chris
He
Pine
needed
looked like
a CGI space, just a little taste.
like so y'all got to get rid of some of them fine lines.
It was.
Chris Pine is aging like cheese and not like wine.
The paycheck. That's all he was doing, going through. Let me get it live. Give me my money. I'm out.
let me get that money real quick. All right, so Ninja Yo-Yo, scale of 1 to 10. Where Wonder Woman 84 at?
I think I could be generous and give it a 6 as well. I think I can match Keith's score on that. I think yeah, it was the worst of times, but it was also the worst of times.
Wow.
It was all right. It was okay. Nah, I didn't like it.
She like, I watched this garbage.
It's like I'm trying to make myself hype it up more, and that might be because y'all just literally like destroyed Captain Marvel for the past 15 minutes. And so maybe in my mind, I'm like, Wonder Woman 84, it was not that bad. It wasn't Captain Marvel. So I was like, I think I'm trying to talk myself into liking something I just didn't like that. So
I'm a DC guy, and I don't want you to like it more than it was. It was it gave me about as much pleasure as my gym shoes when I run 3 miles and I take them off.
Oh Lord, and I know you've been in the gym working hard, so I know that's some fun.
So Mark Dub, where you at? Scale of 1 to 10, Wonder Woman 84. What we doing?
Well, you know what? I was shocked by Coop giving it a 6 because I thought he was gonna be in 4 territory. But let's go ahead and give it the son of man, the number of man, according to the Bible. Let's give it a 6. Now we got more 6s than 2nd grade. So the 1st grade. That's the line. My math. I did some terrible math right there, but yeah, like it's 6, man, and that's a generous 6. That's like a Ninja Yo-Yo, real generous 6, because I was real disappointed.
And we giving it, little gift back.
The only good thing I can say, I did like the colors. I thought the action scenes were dope.
When we got it,
all 2 of them.
He said all 2 of them.
I was gonna say real quickly on the whole Chris Pine conversation. James went in the chat and said Chris Pine looked like he met Amber Heard.
Oh man! See, I saw that, but I was gonna let it ride. But yo, Amber Heard out here messing you up, then going making speeches at events and acting like she ain't do nothing wrong. Like, all right, your girl Amber Heard straight up went and tried to become the face of a movement. Yo, look, all right, lesson to the word to the wise. If you doing dirt, don't go try to be the face of a movement. Just like keep it low. You know what I'm saying? Just keep it low. Like when that tape dropped, yo, your boy dropped a mixtape on her, and everybody was like, ooh, oh. So you're not a damsel in distress. Oh. Like, yo,
you're a damsel causing distress.
Yeah, like, yo, that girl crazy. Run. I bet, look, it's messing up her dating preferences, boy. Hey, Amber be like trying to walk up in the spot. Dudes be like, I'm cool. You stay where you at.
She can date Shia LaBeouf.
I'll be single.
I was gonna say she like a white Halle Berry out here, but
they done.
I said she like a white Halle Berry.
Look, peep this, y'all. Marvel trying to take me out. But I got y'all. I got y'all. I'm gonna hook y'all up. We gonna do this. We gonna go. We gonna be cool. We gonna take care of this. Marvel can't stop us. You know what I'm saying? Marvel can't take us out. He's trying to stop the brother. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to take us out. Trying to stop everybody. Won't let y'all speak. You know what I'm saying? Won't let black people speak. Won't let black people have no words.
You going Dr. Umar?
Yep, you know what I'm saying? Y'all out here wanting a white Christmas.
Wow. Anyway.
Y'all looking for a white Christmas? What's wrong with y'all?
Okay, so who's next? Who's scoring next?
All right, so Gamma Ray, what's your score?
I'm going to give it a 6.5. And the reason I'm giving that 0.5 is, definitely it's going to have to go due to the like opening scene and the cameo. Like that was I would have been disappointed if we, they didn't just do something. Now, I will say they could have probably given her a better one. I mean, I didn't think that on the nose, but I was happy to see her.
I have a question about that cameo, because maybe by the end of it, I was just so tired. I just maybe I misunderstood. So Linda Carter's character, that's supposed to be the character that originally had the gold armor, right?
Yes.
So why, when they did the lasso of truth onto Steve and it showed her eyes were green, when Linda Carter notoriously has blue eyes, the same blue eyes, they got it onto Gal Gadot. Her eyes are green in that shot.
Yeah.
And then it's like, Linda Carter.
I think that was probably a throw-in at the very, I feel like that was the
it would have took 2 seconds to go in and change that eye color. That's CGI'd already.
They definitely, whoever is responsible for making sure stuff lines up, they dropped the ball on that when they.
Just curious.
Yeah. No, you
My
definitely.
dad didn't, so. You're right. I didn't.
That
I
and
didn't
the
think
one
about
wish
that.
thing were the two biggest things that I just got. I'm like, what? I'm like, oh gosh, all right.
If you gonna give him Wishmaster powers, can't nobody play Ray J. If I have one wish. If I have one wish.
Well, Cheetah got 2 wishes, so
they did a horrible job playing out the rules, staying in line, okay, these are the consequences. This is what this means. They kind of briefed over this god of destruction. I'm like, I would have kind of wanted to see a flashback into what had.
I want to see the god of destruction, the god of lies.
Why is he so bad? It was just kind of.
Why he hate everybody? What he do?
I might be overthinking this, but did anybody catch so whoever won the tournament or competition in the beginning, it was a Black woman. Was that supposed to be Nubia, or am I reaching? Because
no, the ages don't. No, I think that's one of the ones from the first movie that we see, huh?
Yeah,
one of the top warriors.
Random Black woman. They don't know. They don't know what they was doing.
Kind of at that sense, I know she wins the big competition to guard the armor and stuff.
Right.
Diana then goes and steals and runs away from home. But yeah, I was curious about that. I was like, oh snap.
Until they announce Nubia officially, I am not trusting that one. That ain't nothing. I ain't getting my hopes up.
No, we'll see where they get with that one.
They'll bring her out.
All right, so all right, so Clement, 1 to 10, where you at, man? Where you at?
I'm at a 6.57 ish. I go back and forth. Because I like Patty Jenkins. I love Pedro. The actors did their thing in this movie, right? But then that was a big part of me. But then the writing is all over the wall. It's kind of okay, let's film it here. Okay, we're trying to make a biblical reference here. Okay, we're trying to talk about corruption and cannibalism here. Okay, now Steve Trevor's coming back and something Cincinnati. It's I haven't really made up my mind, but I'm hovering between 6.5 and a 7 right now.
6.7.
That's closer. 6.7 is closer. There you go.
Y'all been rough on this movie. You know what? I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good to this movie. I've picked this movie. I've played with this movie. I poked holes in the movie. We've all done it, but I will say I enjoyed it. I like the messages that the people learned in it. There were some parts where I'm like, but you know what? I'm gonna roll through 7.5. 7.5 is where I'm holding it. I like the lesson that she learned in the beginning as a child. I like the lesson of love that she learned. Of course, having to let that love go because it's not real anyway. The lesson that your girl, Kristen Wiig, a.k.a. Cheetah, done learn. And the lesson that your boy Pedro, a.k.a. Maxwell Lord, learned. I did like seeing the world descend into chaos because, of course, everybody can't have what they want, because if everybody had what they want, there's going to be some wants that overlap. And, of course, I ain't going to front. I like that moment. She was like, I wish all y'all Irish people go back. He was like, I wish you dropped dead. She was like, ah. It was like, that was immediate, and that was funny.
He never went back and checked on her either. He didn't want to renounce his wish or nothing. He was just like, well, if she dies, she dies. I was like, hey, he don't love her for real.
Hey, he was like, don't be hating on my people.
Here's how that was gonna work. What you mean,
he turned around. She said, I wish all you Irish people were gone. He turned around. He said,
So she has to get up and then be like, well, I guess I'm going to just go because you tried to kill me. I'm going to just head out.
Hey, she tried to have him deported.
Y'all think that obviously what we're going through, COVID, pandemic, quarantine life, no movie theaters, watching it from home, do you feel like that is what is probably impacting at all? Maybe just a little bit of people just being like, it was bad.
Can I speak to that?
I feel like everybody is like,
if I saw this in the theater, 4.5. I'm being generous because I watched it at my house. If it was in the theater, oh my God. Oh no.
Yeah, I wouldn't be pleased if I saw it in the theater.
I've been
No,
angry.
your score would be higher because you would have saw it on. Remember, you would have saw it on the
Oh,
big
yeah. Oh, boy.
screen where every movie's supposed to be seen at.
Yeah,
In the most
boy, movies
beautiful
are back in the
Tell me
theater.
about the big
the
screen.
most important place to see the cinema is on. Shut up. All right.
Look at Patty Jenkins. You must go see my movie in the theater. No, your movie wasn't good. It
How
would have
about
made me
this?
more angry.
Let me keep it real on Chris Nolan and all them people like, I'm going to weigh in on this. You don't own the movie. You are work for hire. Warner Brothers owns it. Warner Brothers will do what they what they want to do with it. How you
And
like
real
that?
talk,
Okay,
you ain't going in the
now-
theater to sit next to people who ain't wearing their damn masks. Keep it real. You in your damn mansion with your own movie theater. While we got people coughing and hacking at us who trying to give us COVID.
See, but that's a
I
good
ain't going
point,
to that
though.
Corona theater. Get the COVID seats. You done coughed and sneezed in the seat. Now I'm going to sit in the seat. You done sat
Such
in
you like
the last
Maxwell
show,
Lord.
and now I got COVID on my clothes.
And you ain't even gonna give me a COVID
discount.
discount. You gonna bust my head open to the white meat show. Trying to get me to eat some COVID nachos and stuff.
I'm wondering with the bad reviews, they've lost their Rotten Tomatoes score. They were certified fresh before the movie came out. Now it's not. We'll see what the movie does. And now what WB, or let's call it what AT&T is doing with this whole HBO Max with all their movies next year. I'm wondering, will we get a Wonder Woman 3? And if we do, is Patty coming back at all?
I'm gonna say yes, but it's gonna be a few years. It's gonna be about at least.
She'll be back.
Yeah, she'll be back.
The Star Wars thing, though.
Yeah, the Star Wars thing, because if Rogue Squadron takes off, Disney's gonna be like,
I kind of want to see somebody else. I kind of want to see somebody else directed though. I want to see the. I want
Ava. Maybe she'll take a step.
I want. You know what I want? Wonder Woman to get like the Thor 3 treatment, to go just insane, and action.
Yeah,
get this thing up. We don't like if y'all gonna be. I don't want no more mopey, melancholy BS. No more Trevor. She don't need no man. Just let her fight some people.
Yes, I'm tired of crying. Like, I know that's normal. I mean,
people love story.
Like, okay, you had your wine, cry me a river. Like, I need you to be a woman. Look, you can do bad all by yourself. Like,
yeah, we got to get over that.
Get it.
So what you saying is what you saying is she need to listen to some Mary J albums. And then
I'm about to say, you want her to be Wonder J. Blige?
Yeah, why not, man?
I can kick ass all by myself.
I don't need her to do the dancing.
She'll be like,
no. That's how you fight. When she starts, she'll start the whole ground. Like Mary, you had the whole ground shaking.
She got to get her groove back.
The one person I think would be dope.
Ninja, yes.
I would love to see. Oh, go ahead, Gamma.
No, I'm just agreeing with Ninja. Like, get her groove back. Like, there's like Steve said, there's other fishes out there. Like,
yeah, that Steve storyline. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done with.
That's
Steve.
enough.
No more Steve.
I think the only reason why I would love Ava, but because of New Gods, I would say the next best person to direct would be Bryce Dallas Howard. Just based off what she did with Mandalorian, I think she would actually be like, if Patty had to step away, the next person to go with is Bryce Dallas Howard.
Step away, Patty. Step away.
Man, you know what? DC get all these talented people, and I wonder how much handcuffing, because like everything that Ray Fisher has said about how Joss Whedon came in, and then Joss Whedon really had some stuff with him. Like they say he was resentful of how the Avengers sequel flopped, and they say he brought a lot of that bad energy over there. And
he did it.
And that was the cluster bomb. That was a movie that I still love to not watch, Justice League. But I'm with you, Coop. Like, God, I can't believe I said those words. I'm with you, Coop. I really want them to blow up. I want them to blow it up and get a Wonder Woman 3 and get somebody bananas to jump on it. Please don't. I don't need to see Chris Pine no more. He was great in the first one.
I don't even want a flashback.
Bringing him back cheapened it. Like,
Well, shouts to the chat. We got Andre Atkins says Patty Jenkins will be back. Let's not have any other love interest at all next time.
I
And the
agree.
villain should be Cersei. So I wouldn't be bad.
Yes.
Good choice.
Yes.
Good choice.
You know what I'm saying?
Cersei,
And
that's
you
what
know,
I've been waiting.
maybe have more than 2 black people that talk, and then that'd be cool. But,
Hey, can I say something real quick? I missed the part about Cheetah. I'm sure. To me, she was nothing but super Karen. Went wrong. She just like she went from nice to like really angry. Fast.
I'm telling Max right now.
So I just wanted to throw that out. Like,
I'm not going to let you hurt me.
I don't
anymore.
agree with that.
Yo, peep this. When old girl
gotta
started
agree
walking
with it.
through the park, I even said out loud, I was like, yo, man, should she be out here right now? I'm like, yo, I know DC. I've been Clement, you know DC. So I'm like, should she be out right now? Like, it's kind of dark.
mean, I said it's Kristen Wiig was interesting, but I just didn't like it. I didn't like it. And I didn't like the damn special effect at the end where she looked like her body. It didn't even match. She looked like smoke running around in cat fur or something. It was terrible.
The cheetah thing is one of the few things I liked about the movie. So, I mean, I think Kristen Wiig did good. She did well, and I thought her character was kind of had the most nuanced storyline out of the three between Diana, Max, and herself. I wish we could have saw her descent a little more because when I was watching it, I pointed out to my husband, my friend, when we were watching it, is that like when she started when she was transformed into a cat lady. Someone said, "Oh, well, she's not even sexy anymore." So her trying to like do all, be hot and all that, that defeats the point. But I think once she found out that Diana had powers and that was something she had, I think she fell in love more with that than trying to emulate being a cute lady or being a hot chick, because that part wore off really quickly because too many guys were catcalling her down the street. She was over that part, and I actually liked them showing that like she had kind of moved on from that. She's like, no, I don't even want that anymore. I want to be strong. Now did I see that came with the package? I thought that was kind of neat, actually.
I don't want to be. Who cares if I'm popular? Like, I want to be able to be strong and like.
Yeah, ain't about the thigh high boots anymore. We're past that. That was cute.
I feel like Cheetah deserved to be like separate away from the Maxwell Lord story.
I agree. I agree with that, though.
I agree with that.
I didn't need the Max Lord story.
Yeah, it just like it felt like Spider-Man 3 with Sandman and all them other damn villains. Like it kind of felt bulked up for no reason. Damn. Like give her own.
I could really whoop Sam Raimi's ass for Spider-Man 3 and the reboot of the Sandman story and Uncle Ben. Y'all really did. Who is saying that's a good idea?
Well, we'll see what Sam Raimi has for Doctor Strange 2. That's all I'll say about that.
True. Maybe you may be scared now.
I mean, don't forget, Sam Raimi's a big part of MCU going forward. They're bringing back all his actors. So,
line up Bruce Campbell for that paycheck. More money in his pocket.
But like, I think I wanted to see a lot more Cheetah, and I think the whole thing of what their point was, it's like absolute power corrupts absolutely. It wasn't like Ninja was saying, it's not about her, the thigh high boots, being sexy, whatever. She's like, oh, I'm powerful. People can fear me now. I don't have to be.
I don't need the other stuff.
Right. And like, I don't have to be the skinny way of the corner, cowering over saying something to someone. I can be my own person now.
You know what?
That was dope. That would be in line with the comic book character too, because she sacrificed everything for more power, and that was her thing. She still, even now in the comic book, she's still chasing more power. So yeah, I think that is pretty astute.
If they would have let her been like the Green Goblin in Spider-Man, where he was like really hammed it up and he was like scared of his power, and then he wound up killing somebody. It would have been cool if she would have like punched a hole. I know they had to keep it PG-13, but if she would have killed old boy, she probably did kill him, but like really sold it, punched a hole in his chest.
He definitely died from internal bleeding on that joint.
Yeah, that man.
He He dead.
nervous. The homeless guy like was over him. Like, are you okay? I'm like, I hope.
She like, mind your business. Like,
and
hey.
I hope nobody shows up and be like, hey, did you kill this man? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, she could have went like, you know.
Like, she killed this guy and ran out, and now you finna leave.
No, I like that she kind of was just like, mind your business. That's all, because she
I wanted to see that.
wasn't that far gone yet. We were still watching her like kind of like, so of course she ain't gonna hurt the homie, because he at this point, that's still the homie. He ain't did no wrong by her. Maybe
she
later on in the movie she would have,
She wasn't ready to kill the younglings yet. You know, she was just taking out the other Jedi. You know,
right?
Man.
Good reference.
Oh man.
I need that dive madness more.
Swing and a hit.
That's why it's a
All right,
6, man.
y'all. With that said, we have exorcised the demons.
Have we?
I'm gonna throw it around the horn for last word, and where can people find you? I'm gonna give it to our resident DC Commander-in-Chief and correspondent, Clement Bryant, right over here. What's up?
Commander. I'm the captain, bro. Yeah, I'm the captain now.
Captain, Commander, General, Colonel. I don't know.
Look at me. I am the captain now.
Exactly. At Twitter or at Clement Bryant, Twitter and Instagram. Follow me. We'll talk about Wonder Woman. And Mike, we got words. I got words to go with you after Captain Marvel, Dark World. We gotta talk. You
gonna see you, homie.
Yeah, we'll see you, homie.
Right over here, Ninja Yo-Yo. What's up?
All right, guys. It's Ninja Yo-Yo Cosplay. You can find me at the Ninja Yo-Yo on Facebook, Twitter. What's the other one? Instagram, and all of that. And I cosplay, and I have a Wang Dang Doodle time talking and smack talking and all that. So thank you for having me.
Word up. Diagonal Square, Gamma Ray, what's up?
Yeah, you can definitely find me at Gamma Rae Cosplay on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Also Clubhouse, if anybody got invited and added on there, you can check me out.
Wow.
Always, staying busy, being a lawyer by day. It's just no rest for the wicked. But on my off days and when I get free time, just living and loving cosplaying, and also co-hosting the Geeked Up podcast with DJ Young Venom. And if you want to check that out, it's Geeked Up JXN on all social media as well.
What up? And in the other diagonal square, we got Keith representing Blerdish.
What up, y'all? One half of Blerdish. The man Mark is the other half. You can catch us at www.blerd-ish.com. That's www.blerdish.com. We're on Anchor, Spotify, all those places where you can hear the podcast when we actually do it and get around to it. You can get some Black dope comics from us from the website. We're also a part of bookshop.org. We're trying to disrupt stuff as an affiliate there, get you some dope novels, different things, all type of literature. Of course, shirts, different things. Look at the Love Crowd shirt. So get merch like that. You can find us on IG, Blerdish. Also, we have a Facebook page. I'm Keith Cooper on Facebook. And we do have a Twitter. I get around to posting stuff whenever I can. You will not find me on Clubhouse because I don't have Apple. And I think Clubhouse, I listen to Rachel and them talk about Clubhouse. I laugh at it. I think it's ratchet as hell. Ain't no way I'm gonna do it. I'll be pulling my eyeballs out. Y'all be cracking me up about their Clubhouse stuff.
Hey.
You wrong for that one.
Oh boy. I got my thoughts on Clubhouse, but I'll leave y'all alone. I know y'all have
Ratchet.
Bottom square, Mark Dub. Yo, where you at?
They saved the greatest for well, they ain't saving for last, but Mark Dub, part man, part thug. Mama, I made it. I'm on Spotify, and there's not a guy that's as how to fly. I'm Mark Dub on Instagram. I'm Mark Wallace on Facebook.
Word.
I'm in these streets for real. And I also am on Twitter. I tweet like once, twice, 3 times.
An hour?
A year?
Nah, not that much. Maybe a week. Every once in a while, I remember where my Twitter is, and I go there and laugh and repost stuff. No deep thoughts. Nothing. I need more. When 140 characters ain't enough. But yeah, look for me. I'm Space Age 3K on the streets. Yeah.
Word up. And
I'm
course,
also
guys,
one half of Blerdish, like who said. I'm the non-silent partner.
Ooh. So, NERDSoul. Thanks everybody for coming through. Tyler Bennett, Keith and Jones talking about it was a 5 out of 10. Jenna James, of course, we got Nubian up in that joint. We got Thomas D. We had Boogsworthy Man early in the chat. Andre Atkins, Tony Fleming, Redbird 101. All y'all that came through. If I missed somebody like Panda, which I wouldn't, because Panda, we love you here. But anyway, if I missed you, it's a whole bunch of names. Can't remember them all. It ain't personal, all right? Don't be taking out no wishes on me. I don't need that, all right?
They gonna grab the shoulder. Wishes, Mike.
So with that said, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube is the hub. Hit the thumbs up if you like what you see. You can hit that thumbs down if you don't, but if you don't, I'm gonna send that wish on you. You don't want that. All right? You see what the wishes can do.
Shoulder. Hey, you talking about you even say the word wish, I'm gonna hit you with a can like old boy in that stove.
Wish.
There it
Don't
is.
touch my shoulder or my hands.
Wish.
Without no mask on.
Hey, Twisted Tea stock went up for all the wrong reasons.
Man, look, all
Bye.
right,
Yeah, I
we're
wish
gonna
for
talk
a
about
Tesla.
stock tips and stock price. We will give y'all that help. But podcast, if you want to listen, of course, just search NERDSoul. I'm there, and Spotify for that music. Now, the new joint coming out with Architron is super dope. And speaking of Architron, we're going to leave y'all with those Architron beats. Shouts out to Hannibal Taboo for the quote earlier today because he's dope and he be cool. So, of course, ARCKATRON.com. The Space Bridge is in stores. We're going to leave y'all with some dope beats. Let me see which one I'm going to leave y'all. I got y'all. So, of course, y'all, from us to you, we're just saying thanks for watching and peace.
Later.
Y'all be good. We out.
Where them super Beckys? Where them super Karens?
Yeah, super Karens.